The Road to the Majors, featuring the 42nd U.S. Mid-Amateur Championship, in partnership with Rolex.
The Mid-Am was established in 1981, and originally the philosophy for the championship was to offer a national championship to those post-collegiate players. And over the years, we've seen the championship grow into one of our most popular. In fact, this year we set a record entries of just over 6,000 individuals.
There's so much excitement for the world to see inside the gates of Sleepy Hollow and to see some of the template greens that Gil Hans has put in, and the tree removal and the beautiful vistas of the Hudson.
The architecture of our greens and Fenway's greens, it really provides a challenge, once we can get some firmness, in those playing surfaces. So the green play and bunker surrounds and the short game touches, that's what's really going to be the deciding factor on the champion.
Fenway has just made this combination of courses the best we've ever seen in terms of U.S. Amateur and Mid-Am. It is just such a challenge from an approach shot standpoint that they've got to position themselves appropriately in the fairway. They've got to hit the right spot on the green, because if you miss in a certain spot, it can be real trouble. Both courses, the types of courses where regardless of the hole, whether it's a 4, a 5, or a par 3, you need to stand on the tee and think about the whole location. That 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 run is strong. It really is.
6 is probably the most risk reward on the golf course. A short par 5, uphill, dogleg right. 7 is the long par 3, downhill reverse Redan that gives players several options on how to get the ball close. And number 8 is probably the undisputed most difficult hole on the golf course, a long par 4.
Your driver placement's got to be pretty accurate there, and depending on how that fairway can play, it's either really wet or it's really dry, and so your shot selection is going to be pretty key there. It's a very tricky green. 9, same thing. You have to hit a really long, accurate drive to be set up for success to have a short iron.
10's a beautiful par 3 downhill, but with water in play, a big spine that bisects that green, so you really need to find yourself on the correct side of that spine.
Punch bowl 15 is right there. Thumbprint 16, depending upon the whole location, birdie opportunities.
3-putting that green is certainly in play for all of the competitors that'll be coming through. And then 17, it's called Hudson. It's a beautiful, dramatic view of the Hudson. Everything slopes left to right off of the tee. There's a couple pot bunkers down there on the right that players will have to avoid, but a good drive there will leave a wedge or a short iron in.
17 green is very tricky. A lot of local knowledge comes into play there, as well as 16 with the wind coming off the Hudson River. You never know how that's going to play, and it could play a club or two shorter, even though it's not a very long hole. And then 18 is just as challenging a finishing hole as anywhere in Westchester County.
It's a beautiful, challenging par 4 back up, climbing toward the clubhouse. So it'll be interesting to see if players lay back with 3-wood or 2-iron, and then they're going to have a long, uphill, demanding approach shot into the 18th.
We have 264 finally make it to the championship. They play 2 rounds of stroke play, 1 at each course, and the low 64 out of those 264 make it to match play. And we go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with match play and finish up with a 36-hole final on that Thursday. The winner takes home the Robert T. Jones Trophy.
Everyone could not be more excited to host the event.